Just a couple of comments that I saw from the people who are currently reading the book together. So as if you don't know what I'm about to read from, this is a group that we have with all the people who are reading this book together. And every day for the month of June, I'm going to be putting updates on there. I'm going to be putting these prompts. We're going to be holding each other accountable and all of that. But anyway, let me just read for you what some of the people are saying on there. The Nailed Beauty Bar says, this book is helping me a lot. Just realized I haven't been showing up at anything, or when I do it when I want to and on my terms, which is unfair to God and others. I am so inconsistent and full of fear, but I'm glad for these kinds of platforms and to be encouraged and learn to be a better person. It starts now. I thank God and appreciate you all. Shout out. Thank you very much for that. Thank you very much for that. And just a request from Mr. Jason says, good evening, please, beloved, please pray for me. I am trusting the Lord for a promotion. I've been going to so many interviews. Tomorrow I will be going to another one. I know he will provide me with the correct promotion where I will serve his nation. I trust him. Hashtag great faith. So we are standing with you and we are believing with you. Let me just read one more. Let me just read one more comment. Let me just read one more comment. I want to find. Today I received my book. As I've been reading and reflecting, I just realized how I haven't been living right, how greedy and selfish I have become, all because of bad experiences I went through. But that is about to change. From now moving forward, all I need is to become the person God wants me to become, to be generous as I should, and to be of value even when things are not going my way. May God use me as he used to before the world changed me. I'm so grateful to have this book as it is already opening my eyes. I'm super proud of the person I am about to become. We thank God for that. And there are so many more of those. We'll get into them. If you are on the group, I really encourage you to engage and celebrate with those who are celebrating, encourage those who are asking for encouragement, and just in these hours of reflection, engage as much as you can. But tonight we're talking about the power of value. We're talking about the power of value. As we've been speaking about this idea of favor, and we hear about it often, we sing about it, we pray for it, we shout and receive when somebody talks about favor. But I want to suggest to you that favor, the favor of God and the favor of people, is something that we grow in by not necessarily asking for it, but rather by becoming attractive to it. We become attractive to the favor of God and the favor of people. We become attractive to it. We are not favored simply because we are asking to be favored, or simply because we are begging for God's mercy to rain down on us. Listen to me. If you are incompetent, if you are negligent, if you do not care pay special care to your work, it makes no difference if you pray that God would bless you with a promotion or whatever. And so over these 30 days, we're exploring some of those principles that help us position ourselves to better receive the favor of God. Are you with me? Say amen. So we're going to get into that tonight, and these 30 days of favor are not about shouting down until favor, sending shouts up until favor comes down. It's not about that. It is about being transformed. It is about the renewing of our minds. It is about the transformation of our minds, and in effect, transforming our words, transforming our actions to the point where we become undeniably favored by God and by people. We're together, right? We're together. So, with that being said, we're getting into day two. We're getting into day two of unlocking favor with God and people. And if you don't have the book, you're not gonna miss much on this here live stream. I still highly recommend that you get it, but I'm gonna do my best to make sure that you get as much value out of this as possible. And if you do have the book, make sure you have it along with your Bible as well. I wanna open this up with just a couple of scriptures before we get into definitions and all of that. We find in Daniel chapter 1, verse 19 to verse 20. Verse 19 and verse 20 of Daniel chapter 1. Once you have it, say I have it. And by the way, if you don't yet have a copy of Unlocking Favor with God and People, you can get it on the website. The link is on my bio. It's only available on our website right now. I want to say thank you to all of you who have been getting themselves a copy of this book, whether it's the hard copy or the ebook. It's available in both hard copy and ebook. That link is on my bio. So just go to the website and get yours. If you get the ebook tonight, you could read it tonight. So, to give you some context, to give you some background as to what we're about to read here, Daniel, along with these guys who would be called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, these guys were part of a nation that was captured. Jerusalem was captured by King Nebuchadnezzar and the Babylonians. And when they captured them, they took some men, they took the young men, they took the best of them, the brightest, the strongest, and they would have them serve under the rulership of the Babylonians, right? And so they would start off by indoctrinating them, teaching them the ways of the Babylonians and all of that. However, something interesting is said about these four guys. Something interesting is said about these four guys after they had went through the process of having been displaced, having found themselves in a strange place with strange people, having to survive somehow. Here's what it says about them. It says, the king talked with them, and he found none equal to Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah. So they entered the king's service. In every matter of wisdom and understanding about which the king questioned them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and enchanters in his whole kingdom. Let me say that again. The king talked with them, and he found none equal to these guys. The king found none equal to them. So listen, when you apply Daniel's method to your fast, don't forget to apply his studying as well, his diligence. Don't forget to apply his excellence as well. Because if all you know is how to do the Daniel fast without the same attitude towards your work, towards your development, towards your becoming better than how you are right now, all you're going to get is weight loss. All you're going to get is weight loss. And we thank God for that. But I want you to realize this, right? It says these guys, they proved themselves. They showed themselves to be so capable. It says whatever the king asked them about, whatever he questioned them on, he found no one equal to them. It says they were 10 times smarter than everybody. 10 times. Listen, they would be the guys that get headhunted today. The best of corporations in the world would headhunt people like this. These are the kind of people I always enjoy having these conversations with these people. You know, people who get called out of retirement It's these guys. These are the kind of people who companies say to them, listen, I know you have come to the time of retirement and I know you want to go and rest, but please, if you will come back, we'll pay you twice as much as we used to pay you and we'll reduce your hours. We just don't want you to go. Give us 5 more years, please. That's value. That is value. This kind of favor you don't get because you shouted. This kind of favor you don't get because you asked. You get because you have proven yourself capable of handling it. People are attracted to value. People are attracted to value. Blessings come to people who are valuable. And so no wonder you find it unfair that people who have keep getting more. People who are blessed keep getting more blessings. And it's like, leave some for the rest of us. But it doesn't matter how you feel about it. If Manyatela is valuable, he will keep having those doors open up to him, no matter how you feel about it. And my friend, the great injustice of the church, the great injustice, especially, I will dare to say, especially the black church, if you will allow me to say, is that many people are asking us, why is it that black people are going to church every week? They believe in God, they pray, but for some reason there is no change. They are being transformed. Their neighborhoods and their communities remain the same. And it is because of one simple thing, my friend. We are being taught about the promises. We shout and we holler about receiving the promises. However, no one takes the time to teach the principles. Perhaps because the person who was teaching himself doesn't know the principles. He doesn't understand these principles. And so the great deception does not happen, perhaps in most cases, it doesn't happen intentionally. It's just that it is generations of incomplete teaching. Not necessarily incorrect, but incomplete. Because yes, the promises are true. And so we spend the rest of our lives waiting for the promises, forgetting that the people who left Egypt are not the same ones that made it into the promised land. You hear what I'm saying? The generation that left Egypt, that left that land of slavery, it wasn't them that made it in. It was their children who would make it in there because they were too fearful. They were complainers. They used to grumble against God. They had not had their minds transformed to the point where they could make it into the promised land. Very important to understand this. If you and I are going to live lives that carry favor, that attract the favor of people and the favor of God, it's very simple. Everybody from the church all the way to the corporate offices, everybody understands that favor is attracted through value. People who are valuable. People who, wherever they walk in, they bring results. The spaces that they step into will not remain the same because they were there. People who, when there is a problem, they are the first ones to bring a solution. These are the people who get promoted. These are the people who are elevated. And somebody will say, no, it's not. It doesn't matter how valuable you are. It's connections. If you don't have connections, then you will not be. Listen to me. I want you to understand me. No matter how you feel about connections and so forth, it doesn't matter how powerful your connections are. If you are useless, they will not put you on. Are you hearing me? No one who stands at the gate will stake their reputation on promoting somebody who is incompetent, who does not bring value. And so, yes, listen, I will never be one to deny the need for relationships. Relationships will take you far in life. But I want you to understand, it doesn't matter who your friend is. If you are useless, if you are incompetent, if you don't carry value, they will never stake their reputation on promoting you, on opening the door for you. Because the moment they know, if I open the door for you and you go in there and you tell them I opened the door for you, now I look just as incompetent as you. Is that okay? Are we okay? You calm down a little bit. That's okay. And then it says about Daniel specifically in Daniel chapter 6. In Daniel chapter 6, verse 3 goes on to say about Daniel himself. It says, "Now Daniel so distinguished himself among the administrators and the satraps by his exceptional qualities." You want to underline that, exceptional qualities, that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. Listen, now Daniel so distinguished himself among the administrators and the satraps by his exceptional qualities that the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. It was not by his prayer, and he was a praying man. It was not by his relationship with God, and he had a relationship with God. It was through his exceptional qualities. It says the king looked at him, the king who didn't even believe in God. He looked at him. This boy is so impressive. Wow, what an impressive man. So you know what? Our nation will be better off if we put him in charge. Yeah. Our nation will be better off if we put him in charge. And somebody is asking themselves, will my business be better off if I put you in that position? Somebody is asking themselves, will we be better off if we give him or her the promotion? There's somebody somewhere is having a conversation that you don't even know anything about. They haven't even approached you, but they are sitting in their offices, they are sitting in circles, and they are saying, but who do you think, internally, who do you think would be more capable of doing that? And when they do that, they will get their feelings out of it. They won't care that you shared your scarf-teen with them. It will come down to who is the most valuable. My friend, value will represent you. The value you carry, it will represent you in rooms that you haven't even set foot in rooms where you don't even know that they are talking about you. Because of the value that you carry over your life, there is somebody right now who is laying in bed and thinking, you know what? Yeah, nah, I think I should call him because I can't think of anyone better. I can't think of anybody who would do this job better. Somewhere out there, somebody is having a conversation with someone else and they are asking them, where did you do your hair? And they you know what their response is? Their response is, get my paper. My paper did my hair. And then she's a bit expensive, but it's worth it, Shem. Value. That's what value will do for you. Oh, how I wish we would hear this on a Sunday morning. Are we together? Value attracts favor. What are those exceptional qualities that will set you apart? What are those exceptional qualities that set you apart without kidding yourself, without lying to yourself? Without lying to yourself, without trying to feel sorry for yourself. What is it? What is it about you that when people sit down in conversations, they say, you know what? Go call this guy, you won't regret it. Call him, you will not regret it. My friend, hear me out. Please hear me. It is not the clapping, it is not the shouting, it is not the hollering, it is not the jumping up and down. It is those exceptional qualities that set Daniel apart. Let me read this for you. For those of you who have the book, you will know exactly where this is. Those of you who have the book, that is page 18. That is page 18 for the book carriers in Unlocking Favour with God and People. When we talk about value, we're referring to the usefulness, relevance, and benefit a person brings to a space. Let me say that again. When we talk about value, we're referring to the usefulness, relevance, and benefit a person brings into a space. So right there, let's pause right there. Does that speak of you? Does that speak of your life? I'm not trying to accuse you. I'm genuinely asking. I'm asking you to reflect. Usefulness, the relevance, the benefit, the spaces that you step into, are they better? Maybe no one is as hospitable as you are. Man, you take care of people when they step into your space. When you step into their space, you take care. Listen, everything around you is always immaculate. Or perhaps it is your wisdom. You step into certain spaces, and as people are having arguments, you are able to settle arguments in the most effective way, and you say, this is the truth. In a way that cannot be refuted. Anyway, value is what makes someone indispensable in the workplace, unforgettable in relationships, and irreplaceable in moments of need. I just want to read every sentence twice. Let me read that again. Listen. Value is what makes someone indispensable in the workplace, unforgettable in relationships, and irreplaceable in moments of need. Value, both divine and human, often follows closely behind the trail of a person who consistently adds value. You don't need to announce your value. It announces you. You don't need to announce your value. It announces you. So let me say this to you in a way that might challenge some of us. I'm going to say this in a way that might challenge some of us. If you feel like you are underrated, I want you to understand you are properly rated. If you feel like no one gets how powerful you are, listen, there is no way, my friend. An outstanding art piece is an outstanding art piece. It doesn't matter who it was painted by. It doesn't matter. So you mean to tell me that people are looking at your incredible life, you are making their life so much better, but they keep on skipping you? You want to tell me that companies are looking at you and you have been, listen, exceptional. They are profitable because of you. And they feel like, you know what, we're making too much money with her. We need to go choose somebody else. Come on now. Now let's be serious with each other. Let's be serious with each other. This is hard, but it's important. Right? It's important. You mean to tell me that in relationships, you are so phenomenal, so incredible, that people feel like, you know what? This is a lot of goodness. This is a lot of goodness. I need to go and find, something a little lower in my life. As long as human beings are human beings, they will always put their interests before anybody else. And so when you say that people overlook you, even though you bring so much value to their lives, that simply does not make sense. You're not talking about human beings. Human beings love themselves. They love themselves. You're making so much money for them to the point where they say, no, we need a little less. You are performing too strong. No, nobody does that. Value will set you apart. It will announce you. It will speak on your behalf. I'll put it to you this way, and I've said this to many people before. I want you to hear me. Every time that I have asked people for a platform, every time I have asked people to open a door for me, anytime I've asked people to put me on, it has never worked out. I kid you not, it has never worked out. Give me a chance to preach. I just want to show you guys what I can do. Can you have me on your podcast? Can you have me there by your studio? It has never worked. You know what has worked? What has worked is I came to the realization, if you put out so much value, there comes a point where they just cannot ignore it. There comes a point where they just cannot ignore it. It becomes foolish for them to ignore it. I want you to get, like, at some point, you become so valuable that it becomes foolish for people to ignore you. Wise men and wise women cannot ignore you. It is to their detriment if they overlook you and choose somebody over you. There comes a point where your life is that valuable. Good, right? Mr. Jason said a koi clipper. Okay. So let me read the second paragraph for you. So Daniel 6 chapter 3 tells us that Daniel distinguished himself by his exceptional qualities. These qualities were so evident that they caught the attention of the king. He stood out not because of his nationality, his background, or his charm, but because of the value he added to the administration of the kingdom. He was trustworthy, wise, and excellent in all he did. That's what value looks like in action. It causes you to rise above your peers without self-promotion. Imagine you're an employer with two candidates. One is charismatic but doesn't bring much to the table in terms of skill or contribution. The other might be quieter but consistently produces high quality work and solves problems others avoid. Who would you promote? The answer is obvious. Value always gets noticed and eventually it gets rewarded. And I want somebody to hear this tonight. When I was writing this and I put that word in the eventually, because initially I just said value gets noticed and rewarded, but then I realized that I need to say eventually because there is somebody who was reading this and saying, but I am so valuable, I haven't been promoted, I haven't been rewarded, I feel like it's to no point. My friend, listen to me. If you truly carry the value that you say you carry, eventually you will be rewarded. You will be lifted up. You will be promoted. It doesn't matter what it is. Once again, I say to you, in the land of man, in the land of people, people love themselves. People love their companies. People love their businesses. People love their lives. They love their lives to the point where they wouldn't avoid anything that is for them, that is for their good. Once they see the value in it, they want it. They want it. And once I learned this, I want you to get me. Once I learned this, I stopped criticizing people. I stopped feeling like I deserve more than other people. I know that when the time is right, eventually you get rewarded if you truly carry value. Are you useful in the spaces that you are in? Is there relevance to you? You hear what I'm saying? Relevance. When we talk about relevance, we're talking about this idea that gifting diapers to somebody who doesn't have a child, it's nice, but why are you gifting me diapers? Why I don't. You hear what I'm saying? Relevance is I walk into the room and I give exactly what is needed in that season, at that moment. Do you want to know what makes me such an impactful speaker? I walk into places, and after I finish speaking, the number one comment that I receive from people is this: I feel like you were talking to me. I feel like you were talking to me. That's value. That is relevance. This is not me talking to you about what's happening on Mars while you have problems on Earth. That's relevance, my friend. And because of that, you will show up. Because of that, you will tell a friend. Are we together? I just need to keep checking because I'm saying a lot here tonight. Let me go on reading. We're on page 19 of the book. It's the same in the spiritual realm. God's favor often rests on those who live with purpose and intentionality. People who do not bury their gifts but develop them for His glory and the benefit of others. Let's go deeper with the story of Joseph. In Genesis 39-41, Joseph was sold into slavery by his brothers and ended up in Potiphar's house. Despite his circumstances, he served with excellence. Let me say it again. Despite his circumstances, he served with excellence. Potiphar noticed. The Bible says the Lord was with Joseph so that he prospered and he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. In Genesis 39:2. Eventually, Joseph was placed in charge of everything Potiphar owned. He was placed in charge of everything. Eventually. Might not happen now. But if you are confident about the value you carry, my friend, eventually it happens. If you are confident about the power the power of your character, it happens eventually. People who carry value are unavoidable. They are unavoidable. And this is a word for somebody here tonight to remind you. God is reminding you here tonight that if you continue to walk in a life that carries value, to walk in a life that expresses these exceptional qualities, to walk in wisdom, to be the best that you can be, eventually, your value will announce you. Your value will speak on your behalf. Let me give you a very simple example. I'll give you a very quick example. Many of you have seen videos where I post just myself reading this book, right? I've posted videos where I was reading this book. Now, here's the interesting thing. When I first told people that this book was coming out, I would just sit in front of the camera and I would say, hey guys, I've got this book, Unlocking Favour with God and People. It's amazing. You need to read it. You need to get yourself a copy. And they were not. I don't know if they don't trust me or what, but they were not. And then in May, we had an incredible reach in the month of May for this book specifically. Because you know what I started doing? I decided that let me turn my ring light and my camera to the book itself and let the book speak for itself. And so if you watch if you go to my profile, you'll see a bunch of videos where it is simply just the book and me reading the book. And you know what the book did? The book spoke for itself. The book spoke for itself. To the point where right now in Kenya and Mauritius and Canada and the USA and Australia and Ireland and the United Kingdom and wherever else, people are saying, I really want the hard copy. I really want the hard copy. Can you make a plan? Here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying. I'm saying this to you so that you will understand, my friend, so that you will understand that if you create something of value, if you carry something of value and you put the value out there to the world, listen, it will speak for you. It will announce you to the world. It will let the world know this is where you have to look. This is who you have to listen to. This is who you have to go to. Do you hear what I'm saying? Let the value announce you. And then going on with Joseph, we're in page 20, by the way. Even after being wrongly imprisoned, Joseph didn't stop adding value. Even after being wrongly imprisoned, Joseph didn't stop adding value. Some of us stop adding value just because they promoted Trompis before they promoted you. And some of us stop adding value because the boss brought in his big-headed son, and he gave his big-headed son the position that you have been wanting, and now you are just tired. You just don't care anymore. And it is a sabotage of your own destiny. He interpreted dreams in prison with such accuracy that when Pharaoh had a troubling dream, Joseph was called upon. One conversation of value with Pharaoh resulted in him being the governor of Egypt. In a moment, favor found him. But it was value that led him there. It was value that led him there. Listen, can we talk about Joseph for a moment? Do you know how Joseph's promotion came about? Do you know how his lifting came about? Because we talk about him often. You know what it was? It was Joseph, literally. It was Joseph utilizing the power of value, the power of relationships. When he was in prison, somebody needed help. He helped them out, and he said to him, "Listen, I know you work for the king, and you're gonna be released soon. Receive it." And then he said to the guy, "Listen, when you are released from here, and it's time for you to go back to working for Pharaoh, please do me a favor, put in a good word for me. Just put in a word for me with Pharaoh, man. I'd appreciate that." That was him. And then 2 years goes by, this guy forgets. And then 2 years later, Pharaoh has the same problem that the guy had. And the guy says, "Oh, I just remembered. There was a guy in prison. His name was Joseph. He wasn't from around here. But man, that guy will tell you exactly what you are looking for. That guy will solve the problem that you have right now." And you know what happened? It said he was brought up from the dungeon. He cleaned himself up. He shaved. He dressed well, showed up in front of Pharaoh. And that same day, he was promoted to the highest position in the land. Value will do that for you, my friend. Listen, in a world that emphasizes the need for connections, the need for these kind of relationships, and this is how you get through the system and all of that, it doesn't matter how much of that you know if you are going to end up in these spaces and be useless. Once you get in there, listen, easy come, easy go. You're going to walk in through the door, and they will open the window for you to jump out simply because they don't even know how you got in here. Value. Your life must carry value. Doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter how hard you pray. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter how many days you fasted. If you do the Daniel fast, but you don't carry Daniel's habits, you're in trouble. Yeah, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. And it wouldn't be nice. It wouldn't be nice because you're always hungry from all the fasting. But the habits don't match. It's a problem. It's really a problem. Listen to this. Proverbs 22 verse 29 says, "Do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. They will not serve before officials of low rank." The principle is clear. Excellence and value attract visibility and results. Right? Listen, Proverbs says, do you see someone skilled in their work? Do you see someone who is really good at their work? They won't serve before just anybody. They will end up serving before kings. They will end up serving before the most important people in the land. let me just put it to you this way. Let me just put it to you this way. But since we often ask this about dating and all of that, but let me just ask you. For those of you who are in business, the kind of clients that you want, are they looking for somebody like you? Are they truly looking for somebody like you? When you look at how you work, when you look at how you move, are they looking for someone who does things the way you do them, at the standard that you do them? The company that you wish to work for, whether you are in corporate and there's a company that you have been eyeing, are they currently looking for somebody like you? I didn't say somebody with your qualifications. I didn't say somebody with your degree. I'm saying, knowing its reputation, are they looking for somebody with your reputation? Do you hear me? Oh man. This is tough, but this is good. For a lot of us, this is medicine. Right? For a lot of us, this is medicine. You're looking for a husband or a wife. No, now I want somebody who loves me for me. You know when people say that, you know what they mean? They mean I don't want anybody who will hold me to account and ask what my life carries. I just want them to love me as I was born, just a blank slate. Except you're not a blank slate, are you? You've got some habits. You've got some stuff. You are carrying some stuff in your life. And you want to take that stuff to them? Are they looking for that? Is it you they're looking for? Value. And I've often asked people when they say, well, you gotta make sure you find somebody who loves you for you, not for what you can do. Listen, what does that mean? What does that mean? Does it mean it? My language, rajas, right? I don't know what they call them in your language. Rajas. Does that mean that I should just come as I am? Just, Maragira, I love you. Value, my friend. People are attracted to value. People are attracted to value. That's it. Right? Do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. They will not serve before officials of low rank. They won't serve in front of mediocre people. And listen, by the authority of Scripture, what I'm asking you to do today is to determine that if you know that you are in that place, that your days of serving in mediocrity are numbered. They are numbered. Value is a reflection of character. Adding value is not about people pleasing or self-promotion. It's about living a life of contribution. It means showing up to every space, work, church, community, friendships, with something meaningful to offer. Value is rooted in character. It reflects discipline, integrity, and the heart of a servant. People who consistently add value have usually gone through the fire of preparation. Their skills are sharpened, their mindset refined, and their motives purified. They're the ones who ask, would things and lives other than my own get better if I were promoted? Let me ask that again. Would things and lives other than my own get better if I were promoted? Or am I just excited to get promoted so that I can move from here to there? Let's pause there. This is a confronting question, but a necessary one, Many want favor and promotion, but few ask whether their elevation will lead to the betterment of others. God is more likely to open doors of favor to those who have a track record of blessing others in the spaces they already occupy. Imagine two team members at your job. One does what is required, clocking in and out without any thought of improvement or initiative. The other is constantly thinking of ways to make things better. Whether it's offering new ideas, supporting their colleagues, or simply doing their job with excellence, who is more likely to receive recognition and opportunity? Now think about your friendships. A friend who listens well, uplifts you, and adds joy and wisdom to your life will always be treasured more than the one who constantly takes without giving. Let me say that again. A friend who listens well, uplifts you, and adds joy and wisdom to your life will always be treasured more than the one who takes without giving. This is what it means to be a person of value. This is what it means to be a person of value. Now, a challenge for you. Take stock of the spaces you occupy. Are you a person of value in your job, home, church, or friendship circles? Are things better because you're there? Wherever it is that you go, are things better because you are there? Decide today to be someone who adds value, not for recognition, but because it honors God and draws favor to your life. You don't have to wait for a promotion to be valuable. Be valuable where you are, and the doors will open. And just for your reflection and journaling, here are some questions that can prompt your journaling for today's session. In what areas of my life am I currently adding value? Just meditate on that for a little bit. In what areas of my life am I currently adding value? You know, the workplace, your local church, your friendships, business partnerships, the clients that you are serving. In what areas of your life are you currently adding value? Are there any spaces where I've withheld my gifts or efforts out of fear, laziness, or insecurity? Let me ask that again. I'm going to slow that down. Listen, are there any spaces where I have withheld my gifts or efforts out of fear, laziness, or insecurity? Always holding back. No, that's imposter syndrome. You're too old for that. Stop holding back. A third question. What specific steps can I take this week to become more valuable in my workplace, relationships, or church? We said, what specific steps can I take this week to become more valuable? Doesn't matter in which area it is. What steps can you take to become more valuable? Is it improving your communication? Is it improving your work ethic? Is it perhaps reducing the scrolling on social media so you can dedicate that time to something else? Is it perhaps finding a way to serve the people that you work with better, becoming a better team player, starting to pull your weight a little more, becoming a better listener? Doesn't matter. Listen, there are so many different ways, but you've got to think about this practically. Right? Think about it practically. In what ways can you add value? And the last question, would things and lives other than my own get better if I were promoted? What does this reveal about my readiness for favor? In other words, if you got what you are asking for right now, how would it change everything around you and other lives around you, putting you aside for a moment? And what does this tell you about how ready you are to receive that favor? Friends, hear me out. The value you carry will speak on your behalf. It will speak on your behalf. There is nothing godly about being lazy. Listen, a lazy Christian is a contradiction. I don't know where it comes from. You gotta ask yourself what spirit that is, because I don't know where it comes from. One who doesn't do their job with excellence. Where does that come from? Constantly procrastinating, putting it off for later. I'll do it tomorrow. Right now, for some of us, 2025 is almost over. The year that you said was going to be it, it's not over yet. It's not over yet. It can still be it, but it's going to take intentional effort. Yes, we keep on praying, and yes, we keep on fasting. But if we do not walk the way Daniel walked, it doesn't matter if we fast the way he fasted. It will not matter. Find a way to set yourself apart by being exceptional. By being exceptional. You have a little extra time devoted to your craft. What kind of serious person has days of boredom? Can I just ask you, just as adults, you want to be exceptional and you have pursuits, but you can get bored. Bored how? Bored. Bored. Because there's nothing to do. Because there's nothing on your plate. Bored. At 37 years old. My friend, all of that. We just want to become more valuable. We just want to become more valuable. Whatever it takes, to the point where we experience our lives the way that Daniel experienced his life, where the king looked at him and said, I can't find anybody who was more capable than him. More capable than him. I can't think of anybody. Right? Keep getting better. Keep on improving. We keep on refining ourselves to the point where our lives carry value. Yeah, that's a good word for tonight, isn't it? That's a good word for tonight. I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that. Anyway, may God help us. May God help us. My friend, remember, the value you carry will announce you. I'm going to tell you this again, and I'm hoping that it shakes somebody up. Somebody out there is talking about the value you carry or the lack thereof. You know how you've been praying for destiny helpers? Somebody out there is having a conversation with somebody who could have been your destiny helper. And they are saying, this guy, I wouldn't trust him. Somebody out there is having a conversation with somebody who carries your next opportunity, who holds the key to the next door that you are supposed to walk through. They're having a conversation. They're deliberating based on your value, based on your character, based on who you are. They're having that conversation. And all you've got is that name of yours. Right? Let me take it a step further. Your husband saw you somewhere, and now he's talking to the people that he saw you with, and he's asking them, "Hey guys, do you know that lady? What's her name?" And as soon as they say he says your name, they say, yeah. Or they say, you have to meet her. Oh, you have to meet her, man. You hear what I'm saying? Or out there, your name is speaking on your behalf. It is speaking on your behalf. And you wouldn't even know. You'll say, I've been waiting for the call. But Tokana, they don't call me. They asked around. They asked around. And somebody said, My friend, that is day 2 of 30 days of favor. It only gets better from here. Will you say amen?